Welcome to Module 6, Lesson 4. You're going to turn to page 152. In this lesson, we're going to use concrete and visual models to compare two different three-digit numbers. Let's look at our build understanding problem. There are 342 fish and 173 frogs living in a river. Are there fewer fish or fewer frogs in the river? Show each number with blocks and a quick picture. So if you have place value blocks, you can use them, or you can just do a picture. I'm going to make sure I label first. They both start with F, so I have to write them out. Fish and frogs. All right, let's go ahead and draw for the number of fish. There are 342 fish. And there are 173 frogs. Let's look at these pictures. Right away, what do you notice? Oops, I have too many hundreds. Let me fix that. Okay, I have 342 fish and 173 frogs. My fish have more hundreds than my frogs do. So let's think about that in the next question. Are there fewer fish or fewer frogs in the river? Which of these numbers was smaller? The frogs was smaller. So we know there are fewer frogs in the river than fish. Okay, let's look at our next one. There are 512 loaves of bread. The baker makes more bread. 10 loaves fit on a tray. He puts 2 trays in the oven. Compare the number of loaves there are to start to the number of loaves there are now. So let's draw our number first, 512. So we have 5 hundreds, and we know 12 is made of 1 10 and 2 ones. When the baker puts 1 tray of bread in the oven, how would our drawing change? What would we do? We would add 1 10 stick. Right? We would add 1 more. That's how our drawing would change to show that 10 more loaves of bread went in the oven. But we know he doesn't just add 1 tray, he adds 2. So letter C says the baker puts another tray of bread in the oven. Explain how our drawing would change. Well, what would happen? We would add 1 more 10 stick. Okay, so now we would have 2 more 10 sticks to our drawing. So let's write those numbers. 512. Then when we add that 1 10 stick, it would be 522. And then when we add that last 10 stick, it would be 532. So let's compare the starting number of 512 to the ending number of 532. Is 512 loaves more than or less than 532? If you said less than, you are correct. let's look at check understanding. Jody's book has 266 pages. George's book has 259 pages. Whose book has more pages? You can use the section to the side to draw a picture to help you solve. Go ahead and pause the video if you need any more time to complete this problem. I'm going to go ahead and draw a picture and label. So I know that Jody's book has 266 pages. And George's book has 259 pages. They both have the same number of hundreds, but Jody has one more 10 than George does. So I know that Jody's book has more pages. Even though George has more ones than Jody, because Jody has one more 10 than George, her number is greater because 110 is greater than the number of ones that George has more than Jody. That's why we always start with the greatest place value and move over to compare numbers.